Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we're looking into 2020 and I just wanted to talk to you about the top 5 destinations for cruise ships in 2020, at least according to the people who were polled throughout the cruise industry. And these ones are some fascinating destinations, and I can see why they would be on people's bucket lists as must-dos and why they're so popular. So let's start off with number 5. Number 5 is the Mediterranean. And I say, Don, the Mediterranean? Well, that seems like a normal cruise. It's kind of like the Caribbean in Europe, right? Everyone sails there. But we're talking particularly about Mediterranean cruises with multiple stops in Greece. Greece seems to be one of the most popular destinations in Europe right now. People want to go. They want to see the white buildings on the coastlines, along the cliffs. They want to see the pristine waters that are out there and just the beautiful look. Everybody's just, when you picture Greece, you picture those white buildings on the cliff sides overlooking that water. And yes, it is something to behold when you're there. I'm going to be going there next year myself, so I can see why people really want to do Greece, as well as the great food and the music that goes on. They have so many outdoor cafes and so many places to walk, and it is a walking area and you have to be in a little bit of shape because the really great places to see, you want to walk through those narrow pathways and along the seaside, and it really will be a fantastic trip. So I can see why Greece in the Mediterranean is a really popular destination. Number 4, we have Norway. Norway can be usually sailed either by itself, the Norwegian fjords, or usually tacked onto a cruise that's, say, going to Ireland or Scotland, and you get to see Norway. And why Norway, you may ask? Well, first of all, you have the fjords. They're absolutely beautiful. The pristine nature. It's like going to Alaska, and it's just one of those places on earth that is still maintained and well looked after, and you just feel like you're out in the middle of nature, not the cities. Tack on that Norway is one of the few places on earth that you can see the northern lights at certain times of year. And one of the best places to see it is on the cruise ship, because the cruise ship will be out on the water and there's not very many lights along the side, so you have a much better chance of seeing the northern lights when you're on a cruise ship than, say, on a land destination. So again, Norway is one of that most sought after destinations, especially if you can see the northern lights. Next we have one that's the Southeast Asia. A lot of people are really wanting to see Asia, and in particular the location they're looking to do is Singapore. Singapore is quickly becoming one of those destination cities. Much like the last 10 years or so, Dubai had that reputation of being that city that everybody wanted to go to, everyone wanted to see. Singapore has quickly risen to that status. It has some of the most unique architectural buildings in the world. Not only that, they have such amazing food, amazing beaches, and it's just so, how do I say this? It's so unique in a lot of ways with the mix of the culture of modern and historic. Also, it has some of the richest people in the world living there. So if you're the type of person who likes to do mansion looking and seeing $100 million mansions, Singapore is a place to go because there's multiple million and billionaires living in that area. One of the really unique things is there are food markets there where they're outdoor venues, and they are the only place in the world where those venues actually are Michelin star rated. They have Michelin stars. And if you don't know what Michelin star is, that's a restaurant rating. If you get a Michelin star, you're a great restaurant. You get 2, you're an amazing restaurant. You get 3, You're the best of the best. Number 4 is on a lot of people's bucket list, and I have a whole bunch of people going with me next year in June. It's Alaska. Alaska is still one of those last vestules on Earth that is still maintained and pristine and beautiful. Icy cold, crystal clear water, the snow caps, the glaciers, the whales, the wildlife that is still surrounding that area. One of the most largest location of bears in the world, of eagles in the world, and whales. It's their feeding ground, the humpback whale. So it's absolutely back to nature, and it's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite destinations. Out of I've just done 101 cruises, so out of 101 cruises, 24 of them, my next cruise to Alaska will be 24. So almost 25% of my cruises have been to Alaska. And Alaska's not cheap to go to. So you know, if I'm going there that many times, it must be something I really, really like. And not only Alaska, the most sought after cruises to Alaska are those that go to Glacier Bay. And not every cruise ship can go to Glacier Bay. First off, they only allow 2 ships per day, maximum, which means that's 14 ships a week. And there's a lot more cruise ships in Alaska than 14. And so they don't all get to go and view that unique area, that unique, beautiful glacier that is absolutely a must-see if you're going to Alaska. It is one of the most pristine, I keep saying pristine, but that's the best way to describe it. If you're looking out and you see the ice flowing by your ship with the reflection on the water and the glacier in the background, and if you happen to get that great beautiful blue sky when you're out there, it will stay with you forever. That picture in your mind will always be there, and you will never feel closer to nature and in awe of the majesty that is nature than you will be when you're going through Glacier Bay in Alaska. Finally, one of the #1 destinations that we're finding for next year is one of the most expensive land vacations you can take. That's why a lot of people are now deciding to go by cruise ship, because it's cheaper and you can still visit the place that you want to see. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Bora Bora off the coast of Tahiti. And so Bora Bora is best known for those cabanas over the water and their beautiful beaches. Well, the cruise ship industry can take you to those beaches, can take you to the island life, can take you to all the nature that's out there, can take you to those great water spots, and you don't pay the price that you would if you're staying at one of those luxury hotels by far. In fact, people, instead of staying 7 days at one of those resorts, are choosing to take a cruise ship that'll visit 4 or 5 islands out there for 18 to 20 days. And it still comes out cheaper than the hotel did. So a lot of people are being able to discover a place that they would not be able to visit if they were staying on the island. Not to mention the flight out there. You have to fly to Australia or you fly to Bora. It's a long flight. It's a long time in the air. Much better to just sit back in your cruise ship, grab yourself a margarita, sit out in the water there and just look at the water go by on your way to Bora Bora and check out those beaches. It quickly is becoming a big destination, and you're not going to get the large ships. You're not going to get the Oasis class ships or size like that. They're much smaller, more intimate ships that feel much more appropriate for that area, much calmer, if you know what I mean. Not party boats, relaxation boats. In fact, expedition ships head out in that direction, and much smaller yacht rentals will go out into that area. And it just feels like it's not crowded, and you get to see everything that you would see, if not more, than if you were staying at one of those resorts. So that's what they're looking for in 2020. Those are the most popular booked destinations so far for 2020 for cruise ships. What do you think of the list? Is there any out there that you say, yeah, that sounds interesting, I would love to do that? You know, for me, I want to go to Greece next year. I want to do the Mediterranean for sure. So Greece will definitely be on the itinerary when I'm going, no matter what. So I can see why that was a destination. I'm going to Alaska as well. So that's going to be on there. And I'm hoping to go on an Australian cruise, and maybe I'll send myself on a longer one and head off and head into the islands if I can. So we'll see what happens, but I can see these on the list as being amazing, and I think my next Asia trip, I gotta check out Singapore as well. So many things to do and so little time and so little money. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.